we are having at the moment. So without taking your time, I just want to apologize that today is not allowing us to go live because of some technical issues. But what we wanted to talk about today was on, I think the verse was just 1 Corinthians chapter 1 verse 18, and the theme of the message was the message of the cross, subtitled Trust God. Trust God. What I wanted to talk about on this place today, it is about how a person, we human being, we can come to start trusting God. Despite whatever we face on earth, despite whatever we are finding difficulties in our lives, but there is certain periods that we have to know we don't have a choice but to trust God. We don't have a choice but to believe in God. We don't have a choice but to do what God is telling us to do. And on that position of saying so, that's why I wanted just to, we parents, if you are a parent, you know what I am talking about. When you are pregnant as a mother, you are pregnant expecting to have a child. And if you look into that life of that child has no choice to choose where to be born to and which parents am I supposed to be born into, or which family am I supposed to be born into. And in such a way, you as a mother, you are the one to be taking care of that child. Let me just cut it short. A mother, when he goes to labor and give birth to a child, that child has no choice. Do you know why that child doesn't have a choice? It's because you are the one who has given birth to her, or maybe to him, and he had no other option but to trust you on whatever you're going to feed that child with. Whether you feed that child with a good food, whether you feed that child with a bad food, that child will not choose to say that, no, I'm not trusting you, because if he or she doesn't trust you, she will die of hunger. So she had to trust you because she has no option but to trust a mother. No matter what food you are going to give her, she will eat. He will eat because you are the mother. So the child will trust the mother without options. The child will depend on the mother without option. As children of God, we have no option but to trust in that God, because we don't have another person we can trust upon. And that's why I just put some difficulties of certain issues. Maybe it's internet connection, or maybe some technical issues which is refusing for us to go live today. But I think by God's grace, we're going to do a little bit of that message, which is coming from 1 Corinthians chapter 1 verse 18, and which says, "For the word of the cross is folly to those who are perishing, but to us who are being saved, it is the power of God." It is the power of God. And it's only to those who are believe, which is the power of God. But to those who doesn't believe, to those who seem to see like the word of God just sending them to perishing. So trust God. The gospel of Jesus Christ is an offense. Let me say it in this way. The gospel of Jesus Christ is an offense because the truth will always offend those who are not following the truth. That's what First Corinthians doesn't want to understand the truth. Those who doesn't like to acknowledge the truth, because the truth will always remain an offense. So the reason people get offended by object truth, they are always objective to the truth, it's because it is not consistent with what they think is good to them, with what they think can please them. So it is an offense to such people. And most of the time, they are not offended actually. They are in defense. They are defending themselves. They don't want to face the truth. So in such a way, they are defending themselves not to know the truth, not to realize that that truth has an impact in their lives. So, why? That is the question you may ask me. Why are they not offended, but they are in defense? Well, let me tell you in this way. From my experience, people are just too scared to confront a real life. People are too much scared to confront the reality. Real people and face the reality. Because if they confront real life, will face the truth, and they will search for the truth, because that truth will help them one day to realize that in the way they are doing things is not the way they are supposed to be doing things. Do you want to know what I truly think about these people? Think about these people. It's just they are under a veil. Do you know when somebody is not unveiled, he is veiled on his face. He cannot see the surrounding of the area. He cannot see the reality of the life. He cannot accept things which he's going through. He cannot even accept the situation he is in himself. It's because they don't want to face it. They don't want to see it. So they are veiled. They are just under the veil. They are too scared to face life itself. They are too scared to simply prefer living their lives through their fake comfort zone. So they want to live on their fake comfort zone. They don't want to face the reality. They prefer to remain in their comfort zone, which is not even bad at all. But the problem is we have, as human beings, to face the reality, to face the truth, to be unveiled from that veil which is covering our eyes, for us not to know and accept the truth, which has made us to be in a certain way that we can understand the reality, and then we won't be offended in any other way. Because the message of the cross cannot offend anybody else. If it can offend you, that means you are not being offended, but you're just in defense of yourself, that you don't want to face the reality. Now, the first thing is the way the truth is presented sometimes. Because people, we are different the way we preach. People, we are different the way we approach others when we are speaking to them. People, we are different the way we want to help other people. We are completely different in approaching our friends, our relatives, our brothers and sisters, the world where we're supposed to be preaching the word of God. Some people have no tact when they present the truth. Presenting that truth. It's like telling someone that you are fat. Well, it might be the truth, but it is not tactful. But there is another way of telling that person so that he shouldn't be offended, for him to face the truth, or for her to face the truth. Embarrassing someone is not a way to help someone accept the truth. And that is true. You cannot embarrass someone so that you expect them to accept that truth. Although it is to end up punching you. And that won't be good at all. So, the second part is that the quality of the truth. I said the first one was the way the truth has been presented. And the second one is might not be true. That now I am talking to the way we live our normal lives. Some other people, they offend people in the way they think that they are telling another person the truth. Instead, it is the way you are presenting that truth. And sometimes it may be the truth to you, which is not. Sometimes we might think it is the truth, but not true at all. You might just be expressing your opinion. So an opinion, it's on your own interest. An opinion is what you think in your mind. Or maybe it's, I think this is what the truth is, which may not be thinking, and we have to differentiate. Or maybe